All right, time to turn off the nitrogen because I just finished it. You can see the nitrogen flowing right there. So kill the nitrogen because I just did some braising up on the roof. And this is going to our pipe, hard ACR, going all the way up. And you can see my torch tip up there. We'll go up on the roof right now. Take a little hike. Yeah. Little climb. Now, a little tech tip for a time saving thing. You know, I want to make a little Android Arduino remote, like a car remote on a solenoid for my gas. So I just hit a car remote and I either turn it on or turn it off. I'm tired of going up and down ladders. But here's a little quickie tip. So when you're braising, it is really nice to have like a 20 or 30 foot long hose, because if you have one of those little funky Best, you know, you see that container it came in, those things suck. You see I have much bigger gauges on there instead of those funky little Uni-Weld pieces of garbage. And so you braise here and you're braising along, you're hitting your braises as you go along. And yes, I use Silphos 15. I don't cheap out and use the no silver or the 5% garbage. That's what I've used. That's what my dad used, and that's what my son uses. And so I don't worry about it. It's for my customers. It's for quality, and I don't want no. If I had technicians give me an excuse that, oh, there wasn't enough silver content, that's why it cracked, or I didn't do a good enough braise. Well, I'm the one doing it, and it doesn't matter. I still consider myself a student learning. Look at this. See, look at that sloppy little drops down there. How much this guy wasted here. Well, that guy is me, and I don't care I wasted long. I just don't want leaks. And as long as my grandchild could come up here and they're still not leaking, that's good as gold for me. So here we go. We just traveled this, and I kept braising along without stopping, without turning off my gun. I could just keep on going. I braised there. I come up here. I braised right there. I braised here. I braised here. I braised there, and as you can see, the length of my hose, boom. I did all that in one run, non-stop, not shutting off my raises. Time is money. I know some of you guys live in places where they pay you shit for wages and they don't care about your time. They could waste your time all day long because they don't give you a good wage. So your boss doesn't care whether you take all day long. But when you're in a bigger city or in jobs are really high dollar and time is money, every little thing that saves you time counts. How you like my wet rag? So yeah, now I could pick up that unit. I could sit it right here between the two branches that are going, one there and one is branching over there. I could sit it right here, and my hose will almost make it all the way to the end over there, and my hose will make it almost all the way to the end over there in one run without stopping my braising in between real quickly. And that's the advantage of having a big old long hose. Some guys go, oh, I don't like rolling up a big old bulky hose. But you know when it's really good too is when you're like in a shopping mall, or you're in a you know, like a Safeway, a big restaurant, or a big and you have like 14-16 foot ceilings that could stay down on the ground and you could climb up your ladder. Just a time saving tick for today. All right guys. Oh, and for some of you who are not so familiar with the VFR systems, here we go. Here's our first branch. So this is our main trunk coming all the way back, going down to the compressor, or let's say compressor, but like you can see over there, the heat pumps over there, they going all the way here to our first branch. Now here it branches off, and here we're branching off, and then we're branching off a second time because some are going straight and some are taking off to this branch over here, and you can see the reduction in pipe size as you go along. So as we get up here, we have a 5/8 And we have a 3/8. A 3/8 and a 5/8.
Oh, these are both 5/8.
Wait a minute, sorry. My bonehead here. 3/8, 3/8, 5/8, 5/8. 1 5/8 is feeding a 3-ton, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then 1 5/8 is going to two 18,000 BTU units. That equals 5 tons. I mean 3 tons. And then we have our 3/8 going to damn it,
It's also the 3-ton or the 18s.
a 3-ton or the 18s. And this one over here is going to the 3-ton. And is this one also going to feed all the other little heads in the office too?
This is feeding all the little 5,000s wall mounts in the offices.
Okay, so this is also feeding a 3-ton plus several little 5,000 BTU heads, tiny little wall mount units. Several that are going to be in an office, all off this 1 3/8. And this is the section. How many 5-ton 1,000 BTU wall mounts are there going to be? 4. So this little 3/8 liquid line is going to feed a 3-ton high static or medium static air handler.
That's a medium static.
Medium static air handler and 4 5,000 BTU wall mount units, all for these 2 pipes. Then we keep on coming along here, and you can see where we're dropping down here. So some of these pipes are going to branch off. I can see where he has them taped off here. So those pipes are going to feed this. This is the 3-ton, correct? Hey Tommy, 3-ton, correct?
That is the medium static 3-ton, yes.
Medium static 3-ton. And then they keep on branching off and going straight over here. And then we are going to 2 medium static 18,000 BTU heads. One is facing in the room going in that direction. One is shooting down the room in this direction, and they're mounted in the center of the room facing opposite directions. They're about 5 feet wide. That's why you see some pipes over here and some pipes over there, because if I kind of like trace it out, you see this big rectangle? That's what the head looks like, and the airflow is going in that direction. And then there's a gap in the middle where the air filters are going to be. Then there's another head right here if I do a big rectangle like this, and the room, and it's shooting out air in that direction. So it's a flow going in 2 directions. And that's how and this is what our communication line goes in. We put all our communication inside EMT. We do not let little wires float out on roofs and in backyards and up walls and stuff like that, and over eaves and in rafters. Everything goes inside EMT, because when you're in a job site where unskilled, untrained, unqualified workers are always coming into, they trip over your lines, they drag stuff over your wires, they snag on them, then there's always an excuse why they get broken. So you learn through trial and error, and especially when you're dealing in a business where downtime or a failure can cost them $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 per air handler down, or a whole system down. You can't afford having screw ups, so you put everything in EMT. It's a lot more labor, it's a lot more materials, but it's just that next level extra security of reliability. You definitely don't want your communication wires getting interrupted by anything. As you can see here, you see this little scaffolding, like train scaffolding coming off here, because this is the high crest of the roof right here, and then the roof starts pitching back down over there, and then the roof starts pitching back down over here. Well, I'm thinking of oil flow, and a lot of those guys, oh, they compensate. That's why they have such small lines on VFRs, because they compensate for oil flow to keep the oil flow up. But what happens, this is what engineers don't think about and guys don't think about. What happens when you get that leak and they don't notice it because there's so many multiple air handlers on different systems in each room, that you no longer have a high mass of refrigerant for that high velocity airflow to take oil back to the system, and you laid your lines down low and you went uphill and then you go downhill, you make all these oil reservoirs, oil traps all over the place. So in this little section right here up to the high crest, we're bringing it up, and I have my laser out here. You know, you could use a level, but I actually stand up a laser and I shoot a laser going all the way across, and this right there is the high point. And then these will never be used as heating, they're only cooling only, so they're like in server rooms where you defeat the heating mode. And so oil is always going downhill and going downhill all the way to the end, then it goes slopes down, and then that little crest from right there through there is at a downhill motion, and then every step of the way there's no uphill motion. It's always oil going downhill. For that one time, who never has an evaporator or condenser who never leaked in their whole life? Whoever had a line where, you know, the electrician or a plumber comes in or somebody else lays something or drags some piece of equipment, or roofers come up here and step on your lines and break your lines, or some people, you always, all equipment is man-made, it always breaks down, it will always leak. So you think of that when you lose and get low on refrigerant, you lose your mass volume of refrigerant and you lose your ability to carry oil back to your units. So that's just future proofing my lines, always trying to make sure oil goes back. And same on that other side, it goes down like that on the other side over there. And so I'll shoot the laser across and I'll make that the high point way in the far corner where the offices and the big water control room is. And I will have that high point and it'll come all the way back here and be on the downward to make sure oil always travels back from over here, where the 3-ton unit will go down. We'll have another branch right here, and then it'll shoot over here, and then it'll go down. And then right inside here, there's many offices, and there'll be 5,000 BTU small wall mount heads inside these offices, all coming back, feeding into the one wide right here with that 3-ton that'll be in this room right here, and going in a downward slope all the way back. All right guys, I'll see you later. That's our little jobby for today.